Hey everyone, ever feel like your brain could use a little pick-me-up?
Oh, yeah, like you just need a little boost.
Just something to help you think a little sharper or even just feel better.
For sure.
Well, guess what?
What?
The answer might be easier than you think.
Okay.
It turns out exercise can totally transform how our brains work.
It really is amazing how much of an impact moving our bodies can have on our minds.
Yeah, so we're not just talking about those good old endorphins.
Right. Endorphins are definitely part of the picture. I mean, they give us that great feeling after a workout.
On runner's high.
Exactly. But, there's a whole lot more going on.
Oh, really? Like what?
Well, for starters, exercise also releases dopamine and serotonin.
Those are like mood boosters, right?
Exactly. They can really help with your mood, your energy levels, even motivation.
So it's like a natural mood-boosting cocktail.
It really is.
Awesome. But what about the long term?
What do you mean?
Like, does exercise actually change our brains over time?
You're thinking about neuroplasticity?
Neuroplasticity.
Yeah. It's the ability of our brains to kind of rewire themselves and adapt
Our brains can do that.
throughout our whole lives.
I had no idea.
And guess what? Exercise is like a super boost for that whole process.
Okay, hold on. You're going to have to break this down for me.
How about this?
Okay.
Imagine your brain is like a network of roads.
Okay, I can see that.
And the more you use certain roads, the more well-traveled and smoother they get.
Right.
Exercise helps pave new roads, strengthens the existing ones.
So it's like cross-training for our brains.
Exactly. It makes your brain more efficient at everything it does.
I love that analogy. So it helps us process information, learn new things, and adapt to new situations better.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay, but I've also heard about this thing called BDNF.
Oh, yeah.
What is that? Is that another one of those brain chemicals?
BDNF stands for brain-derived neurotrophic factor.
Okay.
And you can think of it like fertilizer for your brain cells.
Fertilizer.
Yeah, it helps them grow, survive, and thrive.
So it's like miracle grow for our brains.
Yeah. And guess what?
What?
Exercise is one of the best ways to increase BDNF.
Hold on, wait. So you're telling me working out could actually help me grow new brain cells?
Pretty amazing, right?
That is mind-blowing.
And here's another cool thing.
Okay.
BDNF is especially active in the hippocampus.
The hippocampus.
That's the part of your brain that's all about forming new memories.
So maybe that's why I always feel so much sharper after I hit the gym.
It could be. It's like your brain is suddenly ready to tackle anything.
Like it's firing on all cylinders.
Exactly. And the best part,
What's that?
these benefits can actually protect our brains as we age.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we're not just talking about feeling good today, but potentially keeping our brains healthy for years to come.
Exactly.
Now you've got my attention. Tell me more about how exercise can help our brains as we get older.
Well, you see, it's like our bodies, our brains age too.
Makes sense.
But just like exercise can keep our bodies strong and resilient, it does the same for our brains. Regular physical activity can actually help protect against that cognitive decline you were asking about.
Really?
Yeah, and reduce the risk of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's.
So it's not just about feeling good today, but actually safeguarding our brain health for the future.
Right. It's like an investment in our future cognitive well-being.
I like that.
And you know what's great?
What?
It's never too late to start.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Even if you start exercising later in life, you can still experience some pretty significant cognitive benefits.
That's encouraging. Okay, but let's be real for a second.
Okay.
We all have those days where our brains just feel completely fried.
Oh, tell me about it.
Can exercise actually help us focus better on those days and deal with stress?
You bet. Remember how we were talking about exercise improving blood flow to the brain?
Yeah.
Well, that means more oxygen and nutrients are getting up there, which can really help with concentration and mental clarity.
So it's like a much needed energy boost for our brains.
Exactly. And there's a bonus.
Oh, there's more.
Exercise is a fantastic stress reliever.
Okay, how so?
When we get stressed, our bodies release this hormone called cortisol.
Yeah, cortisol.
But exercise actually helps lower those levels.
Oh, wow.
Plus, you get those endorphins, which can totally change how you feel.
So it's a double whammy against stress.
It really is.
It's amazing how everything is so interconnected.
It is.
We move our bodies and our brains just reap all these benefits.
Right.
So I have to ask, does it matter what kind of exercise we do?
That's a great question.
Like, is running better than lifting weights, or is yoga the key, or what?
All forms of exercise are good for your brain, but certain types seem to have a slight edge.
Interesting.
Like aerobic activities, those are things like running, swimming, dancing.
Okay.
They're great for your cardiovascular health, and that directly benefits your brain.
So getting our heart rate up is a good thing for our brains too.
Exactly. But don't underestimate other kinds of exercise,
Like what?
strength training, that can improve cognitive function, especially for older adults. And then you have activities like yoga and Tai Chi.
Hmm.
They involve mindfulness and balance, which can have a really calming effect on the brain, reduce stress, and even improve focus.
So it sounds like the best approach is to find what you enjoy and what fits your lifestyle.
Absolutely.
Speaking of enjoyment, I've always wondered about the connection between exercise and creativity.
Oh, yeah.
Is there any truth to that, saying that exercise can spark our imaginations?
That's a fascinating area. There's growing evidence suggesting exercise can actually enhance creativity.
Really?
Studies have shown moderate intensity aerobic exercise can improve something called divergent thinking.
Divergent thinking, what's that?
It's basically the ability to come up with new ideas and solutions thinking outside the box.
I get it.
One theory is that when we exercise, our brains are less stuck in those old thought patterns,
Interesting.
and that allows them to make new connections more easily.
That makes sense. Sometimes when I'm stuck on a problem, a good walk or run can totally clear my head.
It's like giving your brain that creative jolt it needs.
It really does.
Yeah.
Oh, and what about exercising in nature? Does that have any extra benefits for creativity?
There's some research suggesting it might. Being in nature with all those sights and sounds can be really stimulating for the imagination.
So basically, a walk in the park could be the secret to unlocking our creative potential.
Exactly. It's worth a try.
Right.
Right?
Totally. Okay, let's shift gears for a bit.
Sure.
I'm curious about the social side of exercise.
Okay.
Does working out with others have any added benefits for our brains?
It's a great question, and it brings up something really important: social connection.
Right.
There's more and more evidence showing that exercising with others can actually boost those brain benefits we've been talking about.
Yeah. I mean, having a workout buddy definitely makes it more enjoyable and helps me stay on track.
It's more than just accountability.
Okay.
When we exercise with others, we're connecting with that basic human need for social interaction.
Mm.
That can have a positive ripple effect on our mental and emotional health. It can reduce feelings of loneliness, boost self-esteem, even create a sense of belonging.
So it's like a win-win-win. We get the physical benefits, the mental boost, and the social connection all at once.
Exactly. It really shows how important it is to think of exercise as something that benefits our whole selves, not just our bodies.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, but before we move on, let's talk about something that might be on our listeners' minds.
What's that?
The potential risks of exercise.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Are there any downsides we should be aware of?
It's a really responsible question.
Yeah.
Exercise is generally incredibly beneficial, but it's always best to be cautious, especially if you're new to it
Okay.
or if you have any underlying health conditions.
So it's always a good idea to check with your doctor first.
Exactly. They can assess your individual needs, recommend activities that are right for you, and make sure you're exercising safely.
That makes sense. And I guess it's also important to listen to your body.
Absolutely. Don't push yourself too hard, especially when you're just starting out.
So start slow and gradually increase the intensity.
Yes. And remember, exercise should be enjoyable.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
If you're always forcing yourself or dreading it, it's probably not going to last.
That's true. It shouldn't feel like a chore.
Right. Find activities that you genuinely like and look forward to.
Whether it's dancing, swimming, hiking, or just a nice walk in nature, find what makes you happy and make it a part of your routine.
I couldn't agree more. And don't be afraid to try new things. You might discover something you absolutely love.
So true. Okay, let's do a quick recap of what we've talked about today. We talk about all the incredible ways that exercise can impact our brains, like boosting our mood, making us feel sharper, helping us remember things, and even sparking creativity.
It's really amazing.
It's like exercise is this secret weapon for a healthier and happier brain.
It really is, and it's pretty empowering to realize that we can actually have so much control over our own brain health.
That's a good point.
By making exercise a regular part of our lives, we're not just taking care of our bodies, but we're investing in our cognitive vitality for years to come.
I'm so ready to get moving right now.
Me too.
But I know some of our listeners might be thinking, okay, this all sounds amazing, but where do I even start?
Right.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to make exercise a regular habit?
Well, first of all, be kind to yourself.
Okay.
Start small and gradually build up from there. Don't try to do too much too soon. Even a few minutes of movement each day can make a difference.
I love that. Small steps, big impact.
Exactly. You don't have to change your whole life overnight.
Right.
Find something you enjoy and that fits into your lifestyle. It could
Yeah.
be anything, dancing, walking, swimming, gardening, really anything that gets your body moving.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to experiment and try new things. You might discover a hidden passion for something you never expected.
That's true. Variety is the spice of life.
Exactly.
Okay, but what about those days when motivation is just low?
Oh, yeah, we all have those.
Any tips for staying on track?
Find a workout buddy.
Okay.
Exercising with a friend or family member can help you stay accountable and give you some support.
That's so true. Plus, it's more fun that way.
Exactly. And remember, those social connections have brain benefits too.
Right. Sometimes just putting on your workout clothes and getting outside is enough to get me going.
That's a great strategy.
Yeah.
And don't forget to celebrate your progress.
Okay.
Every step you take, every minute you move, it's a win for your brain and your body.
Love it. This has been such an inspiring conversation. I feel like I've learned so much about the power of exercise.
Me too.
It's not just about how we look or fitting into those genes.
Right.
It's about taking care of our brains and unlocking our full potential.
Absolutely. It's time to ditch that old no pain, no gain idea and embrace movement as something that brings us joy, energy, and mental vitality.
I'm all for that.
So to our listeners, we'll leave you with this. Find your favorite way to move and experience that amazing transformation that happens when you give your brain and body the gift of movement.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, everyone, and we'll see you next time.